welcome to Voice Memos from your bestie, with me, your bestie. Today, you're gonna get ready with me. I've got things to do and I need to get ready for them. I've already washed and blow dried my hair. I'm gonna curl it. Still need to finish skincare and makeup, but while we get ready, I'm gonna tell you the story of, we can call him Chris. We'll do the story of Chris. For those of you that were on Instagram this week, I posted a little story time, quick little story time about a guy that like unfollowed me out of nowhere on Instagram, and then I was gonna text him and be like, why'd you unfollow me? That's weird. Okay, so I was just about to text this guy because I noticed that he unfollowed me or removed me as a follower or something on Instagram, and I was like, he had some like smart remark to say about it when I deactivated my Instagram a couple months ago, and he like got butthurt because he thought I blocked him. I'm like, bro, I blocked everyone essentially. Like I deactivated, like that was nothing about you. And I was gonna text him like, dude, you move too weird. Like I don't know what your issue is, but like we haven't really been in contact for you to do that. Like I didn't understand. I was kind of confused. But I didn't send him the text because I couldn't remember if I unfollowed him first. Because I might have done that. I had that thought recently and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave that alone and let that sleeping dog lie. Because, no. Anyway, I just blocked him forever. So he's gone now. Which is great. All fine. Wonderful. No love lost. No love found. Gone. But just know he was a friend of some of yours. And some of you have friends that move weird, okay? So just know that. But, I'm gonna go out the rest of my evening, go on the apps and look for everyone's ex-boyfriends and report them for being jerks and a-holes and whatever else it is that they were. Have a good night. We're gonna go into that backstory because he is the one person that I allowed from 2024 into 2025. And that's my bad. That's on me. That's all on me. I take full responsibility. So I think we just give a little backstory. But first, skincare. So I did my milkshake, hyaluronic acid, and squalane facial toner mist from Beekman. I did that. I did my hyaluronic acid from The Ordinary. So we're just going to go in and finish the skin prep with skincare. So Chris. Oh, that's too much. We had been back and forth on the apps. Like we would like each other or swipe or whatever it is on both apps. Or when I say both, I mean Bumble and Hinge. Those are the two that I'm on. We had interacted on those before. Deleted apps, came across each other again. And nothing like really came from it. If the conversation goes dry in the app, I won't let it get to Instagram or take it to text because why would I? There's a leak in our living room right now. Okay, so there's a leak in our living room right now. And I've already had someone come in and they measured something. I don't know, they were on the roof Tuesday. So we'll see. But they'd already been here once, so I wasn't sure if they were coming back. Anyway, Chris. I need to oil these. We matched on both apps multiple times before. Nothing came from it. And then finally, I don't know what it was, but the conversation was going well. We had called each other out for, finally, this is happening. Like, we're actually communicating, like, this is going good. And I was like, bro, you were boring before. And if you're boring when I first meet you, you're not going to get better. There's a difference between being boring and being, like, nervous, I think. Yeah, so that made it out of the apps. We started texting. At this point, so let me tell you about Chris. Why I was like, yeah, this guy could be something. We could be something. I might also call him 6 foot, as that was the nickname that was given to him amongst my friends, because he was 6 feet tall. And for my friends that are shorter, that's really tall. But for me, that's like the standard, I guess. He was, according to his profile, from what I remember, it said general manager at a restaurant. He lived close enough to where it wasn't going to have to be super planned out for when we could see each other. Geographically, being compatible is a thing. Skin is prepped. So It's not totally prep. I'll leave that alone. Okay, so there was that. Something about sports, and I'm really into sports. And was that it, really? He was attractive. He was cute. I liked his photos, obviously. So yeah, there was that. And I don't remember. This was a while ago. September? End of September? After September. October? Whatever. Okay, so we were talking. He got sick or something. We hadn't met yet. And we were going to hang out. And he wasn't feeling well. And like, it was just kind of like the normal, like, I'm going to ghost vibes from like a date. And it's like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because who could ever ghost me, right? I don't wear a foundation. So I will set my moisturizer because this is a little too glowy for me. So I'll just put powder on top of that. So anyway, he got sick. We didn't hang out. And I was like, okay, we'll feel better. I texted him a couple days later and said, hey, like, how are you feeling? Just checking in. And he didn't reply. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, I'm checking on you to see how you're feeling. And you're just not going to reply to me. That's crazy. And so I texted him that. And he had his red receipts on. That was part of it too. Red receipts. So he left me on red. I texted him. I was like, bold of you to leave me on red when I'm just checking in on you to see how you're feeling. But like, go off, king. That's literally what I said. Oh my God, I've never said that before in my life. That was really funny for me. Go off, king. And he said, like, I was just trying to let you enjoy your time or something, enjoy your weekend, because I was doing something. I was like, let me decide what I do with my time and how I spend it. If I can't be distracted, then I won't be distracted. But let me be the decision of what I do with my time. I appreciate the thought, but put that on my plate. Like, hey, I don't want to bother you, so like, don't worry about texting me. Reach out when you can. I like that. Like, say, hey, I'm gonna step back. You do you. When you talk to me when you can. I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. I'm chilling. But don't do I didn't want to bother you. I'll decide when I'm being bothered, and now I'm being bothered. It ended at that, and it didn't end at that. I lied. Where did it go from there? I can't remember the specifics, and that's really bothering me. I've already started to forget him. So then we're going to use the Treat Yourself Gorgeous Benefit Palette. Whatever. I don't think there was much else after that. I kind of left it alone, or we started talking a little bit more again. Brought him back. He left me on red again. And one thing about me, I gotta have the last word. What? I'm working on it, okay? No, okay. He ghosted me once, ghosted me twice, ghosted me 3 times. This is not making me look good at all. We ended up hanging out. So after the first ghosting, we ended up hanging out. Nope, that wasn't it. It was done. We left it alone. No, it wasn't. Okay, so I texted him. All I did, because he left me on red again, whatever, I just sent him Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, right? Just like moving on. And he thumbs upped me. He thumbs upped it. I was like, all right, bold move, my friend. But that was it. I left it alone. It's all coming back now. He texted me a couple weeks later. No! Ah! Okay, that's what it was. I did not thank him next. This is a terrible story time because I can't remember for the life of me how it all went down. We ended up hanging out at some point. And by hanging out, I went to his house. He rents a room from someone or rented a room from someone at the time. And so I guess like they had kids, so like we couldn't go inside. And obviously like I don't need to hear it in the comments. I know I've made better choices. I've also made worse ones. So just leave that alone, okay? And we drank outside in his front yard. And then we ended up going inside and playing Mario Kart. Nothing else happened. I beat him in Mario Kart. That's what happened. So then we talk for like the rest of the week kind of thing, trying to figure out when we're going to hang out next. And then that's when radio silence happened again. I was like, all right, forget this. And a couple days after he had ghosted me or left me on red again, I sent him Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. And he thumbs upped it. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, then we're done. We're moving on. We're moving forward. We hadn't exchanged socials at this time, but I had found him. One night, it was a Friday night. How'd I know that? It was family dinner. And he messaged me and he said, down for another round of Mario Kart? I was like, what do you want? You know, we started talking again, and he said that he'd been doing laundry and he missed me or was thinking of me, because that was something that we had talked about when we first started talking, was about laundry. It wasn't like a weird, like, oh, I don't know. I don't remember how it came up, but we were talking about laundry, and then he was doing laundry. Oh my God, that's my trick. That's how I do it. We talk about laundry, and we make a connection about it. And so then when you're doing your laundry, you're going to think of me. I'm an evil mastermind. Oh my God, that's insane. I'm a lunatic. But there you go, ladies. That's the trick. Talk about laundry. Okay, so said I was doing my laundry. I'm not even kidding. He said he was doing his laundry and he like was thinking about me and like decided to reach out. So he's like, do you want to hang out? Whatever. And I said, well, we can go out. Like, I'm not going over, but yeah, we can go out. We ended up going out for drinks. Went to Dave & Buster's. Had 2 drinks. Do I want to do eyeliner? And we just kind of talked about what happened. It was like, bro, like, what'd you do? Like, why did you do that? Like, why did you think that was okay? And he put it on me. He's like, you were being kind of crazy, if I'm being honest, because, like, we weren't even together or talking that long. And then you were already, you know, coming at me that way. And I'm like, dude, you left me on red. All I was doing is checking to see how you were feeling after you got, like, you said you were sick. I was being a basic human being and caring about your well-being. Like, I'm sorry. Sorry no one's cared for you in any type of capacity, which should have been a red flag right there because he obviously doesn't know what that looks like and can't do that for me. So, like, why would I want that for me, right? And we got into it. I kind of yelled at him a little bit and, like, gave it to him. I was like, this is, like, just, it's like, I understand where you're coming from, but you also need to understand that I'm not doing anything crazy or anything wild. I'm not coming at you for hanging out with people. Like, go ahead. Please go hang out with other people if that's what you're doing. Like, we're not anything. We haven't talked about any kind of exclusivity. Like, that's not even a thing. I think I'm going to do eyeliner. We're going to do eyebrows. This is the Mighty Fine Brow Pencil from Benefit. Why am I shaky? Probably because I've had 1 cup of coffee and I'm going for 2. Yeah, cool. Drink more coffee when we're jittery. That's great. So, whatever. He told me he's got a lot going on, or a lot had been going on. He lost his job. The circumstances were really strange. I don't know how much he's telling the truth. And I guess that should be another red flag if I don't feel like you're telling the truth in the beginning. Hello. So, eyebrow. He said he had lost his job, but got it back in a different capacity, was trying to figure out what's going on with his life, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, you've got a lot going on, but, like, you can talk to me about these things. Like, we're trying to see if we can figure out if we can date or not. Like, I'm not asking you to trauma dump on me, but I am asking for you to believe in my capacity to support. Maybe not financially, but, like, let me be there for you. Sorry, eyebrows are tricky. Okay, so we have a good talk. We don't play any games. We just chit-chat at the bar. I don't go to his place afterwards. Like, that's not what's going on here. Like, we need to reestablish what's going on, what the expectations are, because I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm trying to figure out where I went wrong. I'm not trying to miss anyone for no reason. You know what I mean? Things are going better, I guess, after we hung out the second time. And then just like clockwork, goes ghost. Again, can't figure his life out. And, like, that's fine. And that should have been enough for me right there, right? Oh, while we were hanging out the second time, we did exchange socials. I told him I had found him. And that he was never going to find me, because you can't find me on socials. Because my name isn't linked to it, neither is my phone number. Like, you're not going to find me. Just how I like it. Are they looking too crazy? No? Cool. So then what happened? The Epic Ink Liner by NYX. Let me put you on. If you haven't, you need to try it. It's the best liquid liner. It's a brush tip. Gives the best line. I'm gonna go cross-eyed just looking at it. So then we exchanged socials at that point. We're on Instagrams. That's what we're on. That's where we're at. And then he stopped. What did I do? I posted a story and I tagged him in it with a song that was, like, really cute. You know, it was like, oh, hey, like, thinking of you kind of thing. And he liked it and replied to it. And then, like, there was nothing else from him after that point. And I was like, all right, cool. We love how performative this guy is. Wonderful. He knows exactly what he needs to do to maintain someone's interest, but give them bare minimum. So whatever. At that point, now we hadn't been talking for a couple weeks, and I just couldn't, for a lot of other reasons, I needed to be off Instagram. So I deactivated and I was off of it for a while. I was still on my work Instagram, but that was it. I was maybe gone for like a month, maybe almost 2. And it was great. It was wonderful. I couldn't check up on anyone. That's how I wanted it to be. Let me do my eyeliner real quick, though, because I can't do this while I'm talking. I do have hooded eyes, so maybe you can get, like, a little tutorial from how I do my eyeliner for hooded eyes. You'll notice I do it with my eyes open, and then I close them, obviously, but just watch, okay? Also, that's what my eyes look like when they're open, so why wouldn't I draw the line to see what it looks like? Because if I do it like when it's closed and follow the line, it's not gonna look good. I'm gonna go in now and line the top of my eye. Perfect. Now just a repeat. Mostly even, right? And then I messed it up. Cool, cool, cool. So I just need to leave it alone after I say I'm good, and then I'll be fine, but I didn't do that. There, we're leaving it alone. That's it. Done. Leaving it alone. Okay, so anyways, I reactivated. I didn't posted a story, so no one really knew I was back, right? I was waiting. I accidentally reactivated it, but you know, it's fine. So then what I do to get this guy back in my life, which he clearly didn't want to place in it, but I kept bringing him back. Why? Because at this point in time, it was still 2024, and I was reducing, reusing, and recycling, okay? The Tartelette tubing mascara, really any, well, I can't say any tubing, but I've been put on to tubing mascaras, and they're insane. I go between this one and the Hourglass one. This is like my everyday go-to look. Basic, easy, as you can see. Nothing too crazy. Okay, so then it's December. I'm back on Instagram. Trying to figure out how can I relaunch myself into people's lives and bring them back into mine. And what better way to do it than with a Merry Christmas. You guessed it. I sent out 3 Merry Christmas messages. We all know what I'm talking about. It's that holiday season where you're like, you know what? I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to, Merry Christmas. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to just holiday text my way back into your life. And for what reason other than my own ego, vanity, and boredom. If you are one of my friends that I texted Merry Christmas to, this doesn't apply to you. You're stuck with me forever. Sorry about it. I sent him a Merry Christmas text, and he was bewildered, befuddled, flabbergasted, so excited, over the moon. I was like, yeah, I was just thinking about you. And I said something about, like, the universe and blah, 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 whatever he wanted to hear to make him happy. But he just needed to know that I told him happy or Merry Christmas and, whatever. He didn't need to know that I texted other people that too. That's not what I'm here for. So then he called me and we chit-chatted. We talked like the next day or something and kind of just caught up about what was going on, what was happening. There was a lot going on in his life. Like, his job changed drastically to the point where he was only working like part-time and then had to start doing, like, what are they called? Like delivery kind of orders. So if you know him, if you're listening to this and you know him, feel free to send him the link, because I don't even care anymore. If you can guess who it is. We're bronzed. Willa Bronzer by Benefit. Willa Blush, also from Benefit. Is this breaking? I'm so sad. It's like my favorite. Okay, so then we were catching up, and he's like, when I saw that you had blocked me on Instagram, I was like kind of upset, because I was like checking on you, checking to see, like, even though I wasn't talking to you, I was still checking on you, which is insane to me. Send me the DM. What's wrong with you? Don't check in on me if you're not going to do anything about it. But then one day he couldn't check on me because I had deactivated. And I was like, bro, I just deactivated from everyone. Like, everyone was blocked at that point, right? More or less. And he's like, yeah, no, like, I felt some type of way. I was like, wow, it's really like that, because I'd blocked him before, his phone number. And he like felt some type of way about me thinking I was blocking him on Instagram. And I was like, no, dude, like, it wasn't even like about you. I just needed a break. And he's like, oh, like, I'm glad you're back, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, well, we'll see. I might deactivate again, so get it while you can. It's like, okay. So in my head, I'm like, oh, he's checking on me. Okay. He missed me. But he had my phone number. So it's like, what does that even mean? Because you could have texted me. So yeah, then we were talking about, what we were looking for, if we were looking for anything, what we could give. He was at like I guess he's at a really bad place in his life. And he's just like trying to figure out what's going on. And he had lost his wallet doing an order or a delivery or something. And so I was on the phone with him when he was retracing his steps. And I was like, I can hang up. I can, like, call me after you find it, like, focus on that. He's like, no, it's fine. Like, I'm just like trying to retrace my steps, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool, like, sure. He ends up finding his wallet. He's like, oh my God, thank you, thank God. I'm so glad you're back. You did this. You brought this back to me. Like, and I was like, whoa, I was just on the phone. All this was just from a Merry Christmas text. Like, this isn't even that serious. Like, I don't even know. They're on my roof. Like, you're just going a little nuts for me right now, but that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go in. I should makeup wipe these pieces. Watch how fast I can curl my hair with the beach waver. I'm gonna go in with a 1¼ inch barrel. So anyway, basically got him thinking I was a gift from God at that point. And I was like, well, yeah, I am, but maybe just not your gift from God. So part of the conversation got into, like, he's not at a place in his life where he can be dating, and that's fine. I was like, look, I just want to, you know, make sure that door is open. Like, I don't expect either of us to wait for each other, but I still want us to be able to communicate, because I feel like there could have been something there between us, but he just wasn't in the place that I needed him to be, according to him. And looking back at it, not in the place at all. Not in a place I should have even been thinking, looking at all. Not one bit. I wrote a poem about, like, just anyone that gives me attention, I'm down for it, which is not good, but we're getting better. Whatever. We're, like, basically saying, like, okay, let's be friends. We can talk about, you know, what's going on and maybe hang out, be pen pals is what he said. And just, you know, nothing crazy. Like, maybe we just, like, nothing serious. Like, maybe we just, you know, go see a movie, hold hands, and make out. That's what he said. And I was like, okay. It's like, no, I'm, like, not into that. Like, that's, like, more benefity, like, friends with benefity than I care for. That's gonna land me back in a situationship. And I'm not doing that, like, respectfully. But I was like, yeah, we could be pen pals. We can be friends. You didn't want to hear, like, when I would go on dates and stuff. And that's fine, because I wasn't gonna tell him. And that's none of his business, right? And then this might have been, like, the week after Christmas and up to New Year's that he just went and done and did it again. This all happened very quickly. So he's still seeing me on Instagram. He's posting. Conversation's starting to kind of, like, dwindle down. And we're trying to figure out maybe we could hang out or something. I don't know. But then the conversation starts dying out again. I'm like, all right, here we go. I wished him a Happy New Year's, right? He said, hey, Happy New Year's. And I was like, how was your night or something? How was your day? I don't remember what I had said. How are you? How are you? You know, niceties. Left me on red. Like usual. And I was like, all right, cool, bet. Like, don't even worry about it, babe. Like, we're like this. I'm not doing this again. And I left it alone. I never texted him back after that. What is that? Third time's a charm? So he's still watching my stories. And he'll like a story or something. Like, he's still very much active on my social media. If he's not the first one to watch it, he's making sure that he's swiping up, he's liking it. Just, like, weird, right? What happened next? I've been posting. I've, you know, done my podcast. He posted, like, he liked when I posted it was starting up again. And then episode 3 had just dropped. He watched that story, and then I was looking at who was looking at my stories. Why? Because I do that. I mean, who doesn't? It's there. Why wouldn't you do that? And I noticed that he had moved all the way down to the bottom. I was like, that's weird, because he's normally towards, like, the top. But I had a feeling something was different, because I think I remembered that when people unfollow you or don't follow you, they end up at the bottom of your story. And so I clicked on his profile, and lo and behold, I was removed as a follower. I was like, really? I don't follow you and you don't follow me? So he had done that right after he had seen that story, and I was like, all right, bet. And why it was so interesting was because he made an issue of it prior, when he thought I had blocked him when I just deactivated. And I was like, yo, that's crazy for him to do that, to make a big deal out of it. Should I reach out to him? Should I follow him again? Well, should I do anything? I'm like, no, there's no point, right? He's already shown you multiple times who he is, how he is. Like, leave it alone. You don't need this man in your life. He brings nothing to the table but a fork and knife trying to be fed. Like, and I'm not here to feed the homeless, right? Like, that's not my job. I'm not here to support you. Like, this is a potluck, okay? You need to bring something if you want to eat. You don't just get to show up and grub out and take home leftovers. That's not what this is. Sorry, I'm not running a charity for men. Ooh. At least men like that don't know how to communicate properly. So then I was going to reach out to him, and I was just going to be like, jokingly, like, I don't take it seriously at all. I'm not on Instagram for the followers. But if you're going to make a stink about me deactivating or something, make a big ol' fuss, then yeah, I'm going to fuss back, because it's funny. And what do I have to lose? You already don't follow me. We're not friends. You don't know how to be friends with girls, and that's okay. I don't need you as a friend. I have plenty of guy friends. I don't need you. So I didn't end up texting him. I almost think, like, maybe I should go follow him back, because he's private. Maybe not after I post this. But that was something that was interesting. I had noticed that our mutuals had increased. One of his new mutuals is a girl that I work with, or used to work with. I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting. She was like, she posts, so I'm like looking at her posts and stuff, because she's posting them. And like, you can see who likes people's stuff, and guess who's right up in there? All up in her likes. And you know what? He's probably all up in her DMs too, which is 100% fine, because she's like me, where she's not gonna tolerate that he's got nothing to provide. Should I reach out to her? Be like, hey, how do you know this guy? Because it's new, because they weren't following each other before. But what if she's like, they're like big homies? I don't know. Anyway, that's the story of Chris. That's the story of 6 foot. And all the red flags that I should have seen from the beginning, but didn't, because I was hopeful. And I was like, oh, the universe. I need to stop talking to the universe about these things, because she's messing me up. You know what I mean? What other lessons could I have that she needs to be sending me at this point? Anyway, I wish I could remember the timeline a little bit more, like, it'd be more fluid. So anyway, he was the last remaining guy from 2024 that I was allowing to be here. But you know what? It's fine because it was New Year's Day and he left me on red, and that's okay. He did, like, I'm gonna say he led me on for sure. After we hung out the second time, it was in October, and he's like, let me plan something. Like, I want to plan something like Halloween thing, like spooky thing for us. I think that'd be so cool. That'd be so much fun. And he's looking up things like on our way home, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, sure. Just tell me when you're free what you want to do. Like, let's do it, because that's cute. I love doing themed dates. It was almost Halloween, and he hadn't, like, said anything to me. Like, we hadn't, like, texted. I guess he'd gone ghost again, or it was, like, slowed conversation. Or I was trying to hang out with him before Halloween, because you can't do spooky things in November. It's just, like, not how it works. Lo and behold, he's like, oh, yeah, I was in San Bernardino for work with my friend, and we went to the movies, and it was really cool, and, you know, we went and saw this movie, and I was like, oh, okay, like, that's cool. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna be here for, like, the weekend, I think. Like, he just basically would say, like, I'm not available. Like, I know I told you one thing, but let me go ahead and tell you this other. That should have been another red flag, but of course, I'm like, benefit of the doubt. Let me give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't do that anymore, because why? When has it ever benefited me? If a guy needs you to give him the benefit of the doubt, then maybe you don't need that guy. Because what's he doing so early on needing the benefit of the doubt? He should be able to communicate, oh, I'm at work. Oh, I'm going out of town. Hey, I'm free this day. You make the plans because I'm super busy. I don't know. Whatever. That's the story of the Instagram follow, unfollow, defollow, whatever that was. We need to hairspray this before. Sebastian Shaper Plus. We're going to go in with Dry Spun Texture Spray Light. Just give us some extra hold and volume. We're going to finish off with the Nick Stenson Light Hold Hairspray. I know it looks a little crazy now, but it needs to. Anyway, that's the story of 6 foot, the story of Chris, and how he unfollowed me, and I couldn't remember if I unfollowed him first or not, because I swear I thought about it. It's like, maybe I did, I can't remember, and he went to my profile maybe, and he saw, maybe I did do it, because okay, so, epiphany, maybe I did unfollow him first, and then rightfully so that he unfollowed me, because that's just how it goes. Okay, so this is what could have happened. This is my theory, my conspiracy theory of how Chris unfollowed how he unfollowed me. I know I had the thought of unfollowing him, so maybe I did that, right? He watched my story, and that story was advertising the podcast. Link in bio. So what if he went to my profile to click on the link to go watch the episode, and then that's when he saw that I don't follow him anymore? Because I'm private, so the only way he could see my story is if I allow him to follow me. So I might have unfollowed him. So what if he saw that? Or he could have seen that we had a new mutual, that he didn't know we had a mutual, so he unfollowed me then. This is, okay, I think I should leave it alone, but, like, should I be messy? Should I be toxic? Should I just, like, see what happens? What do I have to lose, right? Should I just send him the link to this and see what he says? Oh, man. I mean, if he did it all and he unfollowed me, like, that's fine, because he has nothing that he could give me. There's no way I could benefit from a relationship of any kind, platonic or not, platonic or romantic. There's no way. Like I said, he brings nothing to the table but a knife and fork ready to eat, and I'm not here to supply a buffet. But wow. Anyway, if you want more full in-depth stories of my dating past, and maybe I'll drop full government names. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just do nicknames. You'll never know if it's their real name or not. But if you want full stories, let me know. I talk about a lot of them. You can go back to episode 1 and tell me if there's anyone that you want to know more about, or really any of the episodes that I talk about dating. Let me know if you want to know more stories about anyone specific from front to back, start to finish. I'm working on getting some guests for some episodes coming up. I know I wanted to get Angie and Alejandra back on the podcast to check in and see where they are, what's going on now. I've got 2 more on the horizon that I'm looking into. What else? If there's anyone that wants to be on the podcast, let me know. We'll collaborate and see what we can do together. If there's anyone that you want on the podcast, don't tell me celebrities, because I can't get celebrities. I don't have that kind of pull. That's not what this is. If there's anything in specific you want me to talk about, I can bring in an expert, and by an expert I mean a friend that's been through a situation that might be similar. I don't know. But let me know. We'll have a recap for the 2024 dating, how that went. Not 2024. We'll have a recap for January's dating. That'll come out. It's not exciting. Sorry. But I've got to go. I'm running late now. And I'll see you next time. If you have questions or comments, leave them wherever and I'll get to them. If you have concerns, keep them to yourself because I don't want them. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.